The first thing that we have to understand is, what does de facto, what does the term de facto actually mean? The term de facto means in deed, in action. It is derived from the Latin preposition de, meaning of, from, about, concerning, or regarding. And then the second part of the etymological breakdown of de facto comes from the Latin noun factum. Facto comes from the Latin noun factum, meaning deed, act, or achievement. De facto is often used to describe someone who represents or embodies something in action, in their deeds, without that person necessarily formally claiming to be that thing in words. So again, de facto means that someone embodies a way of being in the world in their behavior, through their actions, but they don't necessarily claim to be that thing in words. So if someone acts in a, quote, Christ-like way, they could be called Christian in their deeds. They might be considered a de facto Christian. Even if you ask them, do you subscribe to formal Christianity or organized Christianity, they may say, no, I do not. I'm not a member of that religion. I don't consider myself a member of that religion. But if they truly acted in a way that was described as Christ-like, because it was similar to the way Christ taught people to behave in the New Testament teachings, in the New Testament scriptures, that person could be called a de facto Christian. So you could be called a de facto anything after the word de facto if you behave as that being or thing is described to be in words, because your deeds are truly expressing what that thing is. So in this image it says, yes, just as you can identify a tree by its fruits, you can identify people by their actions. It's not about what they say. It's not about what they say they are. It's not about what they claim to identify as. It is about what their actions show you in the very real world that they are and who they are. Again, as is said in New Testament scripture, by their fruits ye shall know them. It's about what you do in the world that is ultimately going to tell other people who and what you are, not what you say you are in words. So this is a very important thing to keep in mind and to distinguish what people say they are versus the real thing. Their actions are going to define who they truly are. So the question comes up, can a person be a Satanist and not even know it? Can you be a Satanist and not realize that you are a Satanist? And the answer is absolutely. It is absolutely true that a person can be a Satanist and not know it. They would not have to claim to be a Satanist to actually subscribe to the worldview, to the tenets, to the belief systems, and to the behaviors of what a Satanism is in the very real world. So again, this picture describes it. Someone could deny all they want to themselves, who they are inside, depicted as the person on the left not wanting to confront themselves, not wanting to look at themselves, being in a state of shame over who they really are deep inside. And the image on the right depicts someone who is wearing a mask. They could change every day to a different mask, to a different face. They could call themselves a million different things, but it's their deeds, it's their actions that ultimately define who they are. So you could have a mask for saying that you're a Christian. This being can say, I'm a Christian. This being can say, I'm a Jew. I practice Judaism. They can say, I'm a Muslim. I practice Islam, or a Buddhist, etc., so forth and so on. They can claim to be millions of different things through their mouth, through their words. Okay? But the words does not define who the being actually is. What defines who and what the being actually is how they behave in the world, what they do. Their deeds define them. So this is what a de facto Satanist is. It's a Satanist in their deeds, in their actions. They are defining themselves as a Satanist. And it's a little bit more than that even. It's your mindset, because your mindset is ultimately going to determine how you behave. See, mentalism precedes everything. How you think is how you're going to behave in the world. What your belief system is, what your worldview is ultimately going to drive your behavior. So, the Satanist indeed has to first accept the satanic mindset in their mind. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. That's what ultimately defines. Those are the defining characteristics and hallmarks of what a Satanist truly is, whether they claim to be one or not. Someone can claim to be a Christian, and in their mindset and their deeds, they're a Satanist. They can claim to be a Jew, and in their minds and in their deeds, they're a Satanist. They can claim to be any number of religions or any number of philosophies, but it is their overarching mindset, their worldview, that then informs and drives their deeds that is ultimately going to define who they are in this world through their behavior.